Hey everyone, and welcome back to my playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS, done in Completionist style. It's a new day, a new recording session, and there's plenty we have to do. Now, just to give you an idea of what I want to do in the next couple of episodes, we have basically three major areas that I would like to clear out. Here's the Basilisk area, here's the coast, and there are some northern areas over here. And, you know, it's time to do some leveling up, especially when it comes to Imoen. And it would make sense that, since we are already in Beregost, it would make sense to go either to the Basilisks or to the coast. But what I'm going to do, I think, is go north. And before all that, we're going to hunt some ankhegs, because, you know what, I want that wand of fire, finally. And I also want Imoen to be a little bit higher level before we go after the Basilisks, because I want her to have a little bit more of these level 1 slots for the protection from petrification spells. Now, when it comes to ankhegs, we don't really need anything special from Imoen. And I don't want to rest anymore, I think. What do we have here available? Yeah, we pretty much have everything. You know what? I should have like 3 commands on her and 1 remove fear, but we won't even need remove fear in the future. In the nearest future. I think I am going to have to rest once more, you know, because there are these bounty hunter groups that can ambush us, and this is going to be a pretty long travel. So let's have her memorize some spooks. I think that's going to be the most effective. And Branwen is going to have 3 commands and 1 remove fear, and she's not eligible for anything more. Alright, now, just heal Kivin a little bit. And yeah, before we leave Beregost, there's actually something that I wanted to show you. Oh, and also one more thing. When we were in Nashkel, I completely forgot to hand in this quest, this Joseph's Greenstone ring, to that lady. But, oh well, we're going to be back south at some point, although I think this is going to be much later in the game. I'm going to have to remember to give her that ring back. Now, we can buy this sling +1, why not? And I wanted to buy some sling bullets. Let's have this, and he has the shadow armor that we have no use for right now. And I don't really want to spend too much money, although I could buy some good arrows, because they might come in handy soon. But I think I'm going to hold off on that. We can sell some of these robes. I'm not going to use that fire resistance robe, I think. Alright, finally you can get rid of some of this stuff. You know what, actually, let's buy some more throwing daggers. Alright, that's it for now.
I am here.
I think. Anyway, I'm going to hold off when it comes to buying some stuff, because I want to buy some goodies in the north. Because since we're going to visit the northern areas, I'm going to go further north and to Ulgoth's beard, because there are some goodies that we can buy there. Some really important things there. Oh yeah, before I forget, I wanted to just go back to this estate.
Yes,
you guys have some interesting things to say if you right-click on them enough.
Today I saw a girl with the biggest pair of ditties I've ever seen.
Dang. And also, I wanted to just charm this guy. Just to show you
Away with you, beggar.
that he considers us a friend and gives us this gold ring.
It is done, certainly.
Alright, now I think we are truly done with Beregost. And we can finally go And I'm not sure if I should rest at the friendly army inn, because we are going to be probably fatigued when we arrive at the... Well, it's only been 12 hours. Let's keep going, I guess. Alright. So the NPC project adds a warning from Jaheira here. That should be extremely aggressive ankhegs around this time of the year, I guess. And also in this area there are not only ankhegs, but there can also be bandits. So we need to be a little careful when it comes to our positioning and when it comes to just exploration, so that we don't have like Imoen go into like 6 bandit archers. I will just destroy her.
It is done.
Alright, here are the 3 fishermen, and they are going to have a quest for us.
Keep your heads about you and we'll work it out. We just need a little help is all.
So apparently times are tough. It's that bitch of Umberlee. She's the one. Steady, Telman. What he means is we're being harassed by a priest of the bitch queen Umberlee. That's actually her title, like the bitch queen. As we will visit the temple of the bitch queen Umberlee later in the Baldur's Gate city. And Umberlee is an evil goddess, so it is true that, you know, they could be harassed by Umberlee, and they obviously want to create an image of being just, you know, poor harassed fishermen. So they want us to check out the situation. North of here apparently there's a priestess of Umberlee, and they want us to deal with her. Oh yeah.
What such menial tasks?
We actually... Alright, no problem.
Indeed.
I was just about to say that we have our, you know, opening locks unavailable
Your concern.
right now with Imoen, but these locks are apparently easy enough to open. I seem to remember there was something worthwhile in one of these houses.
Such menial tasks.
Yeah, indeed.
What is it? A simple matter.
Another sling and some
I have
bullets.
certainly.
Oh,
Your
maybe I
concern.
remembered wrong. There was
Indeed.
some gold. It was not entirely pointless, but... Alright, now for the main event. We're
Yes,
going to hunt some
indeed.
ankhegs. And this is something that you can do much earlier in the game, but you just have to make sure that you have a little bit of a health pool and probably a helmet, so because ankhegs do hit pretty hard. But what makes them viable to farm experience on early on is the fact that they are actually vulnerable to sleep, which I feel not that many people know of, because it doesn't seem like a creature like that would be susceptible to that spell, but they are. And here's a Jantis.
Halt! Be you friend or foe?
Halt! So he's a paladin. He's kind of a young paladin, and he's a pretty likable fellow, although, you know, as a young paladin he sometimes sees things a little bit too much in black and white, but I think the NPC project develops him well. And he has 17 strength. He's just generally a pretty good character. So he's a squire paladin of the most noble order of the Radiant Heart, and if you're familiar with Baldur's Gate 2, then you know what that is. So yeah, we're not going to recruit him in this playthrough. But let's just make him go to the friendly army, I think.
My honor is my life.
Yeah, friendly army. Okay. Pretty cool thing about him is that one of his selection sounds is Helm, give me strength.
Helm, give me strength!
Give me strength. And he also, when you give him an order, he says like a very hearty, yeah! And very often when you have him in your party and you select him and give him an order, pretty quickly he's going to say something like, hell yeah! Hell yeah, that's his nickname. Ajantis, hell yeah, Ilvastar. Anyway, well, let's get to the ankhegs.
What is your
Let's buff up Sinashira's armor class
Yes, certainly.
with shield. Here they are.
This way.
So as you can see, each one of them gives us almost 1,000 experience.
Certainly.
Also, this Ankheg shell is going to be useful for a quest. Well, kind of a quest. I think it's classified as a quest, but it's more work order.
Yes, indeed.
So here's Farmer Brun.
Please, will no one help me? Anyone? I've nowhere else to be turning.
So, you know, his farm is like in the middle of this whole Ankheg situation. Like, that can't be good. Anyway, you need look no further for aid. What can I do? So apparently his son Nathan and his friends went looking for our missing cattle, and they disappeared. So our task is to find Nathan.
Here.
And we're going to do exactly that. We're
Your
going to look
concern
for him
indeed. Yes?
in this nearby Ankheg lair. Here it is, their nest. Or lair. So let's go down there.
Certainly.
What you? I'm gone.
Just make sure they don't target anyone. Brown one leveled up in the meantime, by the way, so she's level 3, gets access to level 2 spells, which for a cleric, there's many good ones. Like, compare this selection, the cleric selection, to the druid selection. It's just like, it's like night and day. So anyway, there's a lot of interesting spells. There's obviously Chant that buffs up our party and it debuffs the opponents. There's a drop on Holy Might, which is a personal buff for a cleric, which for Branwen this is not going to be too useful. There's Hold Person, which is useful. There's also this one, Silence. This is really good in SCS because it comes with a -5 saving throw penalty for the targets. Although a lot of SCS mages have Vocalize to counter that, but it is good against clerics, for example, because clerics don't have anything like that. So let's have one Silence, one Hold Person, and one Chant maybe. Let's just go for a cookie cutter selection here because I just don't have anything particular in mind now to memorize spells for.
As you direct. It is
Alright,
done.
let's explore more of this Ankheg lair. There's going to be quite a few Ankhegs to kill here.
You've attacked as you direct. Yes, it is done.
And then, of course, outside of this lair, there are still many Ankhegs alive, so we're going to get quite a bit of experience here. And hunting these Ankhegs is not even, you know, too difficult, even if you don't have sleep or whatever, because in most cases, you just fight them like one by one. Outside, on the surface, there can be situations where you can encounter 2 of them at the same time,
Yes,
but
it is
generally
done.
in this lair of theirs, you should be safe
I am
enough if
here.
you know, are just cautious in your exploration, I guess. So Imon leveled up, finally.
Yep.
She's going to be a level 2 now. Gets a little bit more level 1 spells. And of course, because of that ring, she gets 2 spell slots. So maybe have her memorized a personal protection and maybe
It is done.
a general chromatic orb. I'll probably switch these spells anyway before we rest. Because this is probably not the last level up she's going to get before our next rest.
Yes, it is done.
Nice crit. Nice crits. 28 from Kinderanai, 24 from Sinashira. And here is kind of like a treasure trove here. And unfortunately, as you can see, there is this body here. And this is Nathan, Brun's dead son, unfortunately. You are overburdened by that. Maybe Kevin can carry that. Okay. Anyway, there's a lot of good loot. And finally, our Wand of Fire. There's a lot of good stuff in this stash, though. Not only that. And there are some pretty good darts. 5 darts of wounding and 5 darts of stunning. Some good spells. like ghost armor and dire charm, and some really good potions also. Like for example, this cloud giant strength potion, 23 strength, and this potion of magic protection that just gives us 50% magic resistance. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. And this is a I call them like cursed antidotes. This is not really an antidote, but you know, it's not necessarily cursed. It's just like an antidote that is after its expiration date, I guess. Just like a bad antidote. And I know that Senashira gained a level up, but once we kill one more Ankheg, Kiranire is also going to have a level up, and I'm going to just level them up together. And finally, we are getting to that level 5, which means that mages are not going to be able to, well, cast sleep on us. Or, well, they are welcome to cast sleep, but it's not going to work on us. Where are you going, guys? You can sell more of these Ankheg shells, but, you know, I just don't have the carrying capacity, I guess, to carry more than one of them. Well, I might take one more. Anyway, let's level up to level 5. So we get a big boost to our saving throws, some more Thaco as usual, and hit points as usual. So this is still a pretty good level up, especially since it makes us immune to sleep, like I've said. So yeah, pretty cool. Thaco of 7 here. Saving throws being, you know, starting to get decent.
Give us hello. If Tempest will.
Give us victory!
As you direct. Yes, indeed. I am here.
Just a random drop there. Anyway, there was, of course, something that I wanted to talk about, and I think I forgot. As usual.
Your kid is done. Yes, indeed.
Okay, you're encumbered. Because of this body, you know, like, without it, we will be able to carry some stuff. Whatever.
I am here.
Not worth it.
Your concern. Yes, it is done.
Okay, so there's one more.
Give us victory!
I don't think there's
I am here.
any more in this layer. I think we're pretty much done with it.
Fine.
Your concern. It is done. Yes.
Right, so that was quite a bit of experience. And some good loot. Finally we have that Wand of Fire. That's what I wanted.
Certainly.
Just uncovering the map. Alright, anyway. Now let's deliver the sad news to Brun, I guess. By the way, well, you'll see when the conversation happens.
Yes, it is done.
Twill be hard going without my son.
It's a black day. And he thinks he's lost not only the sun but also the land because he's too old to work. And I remember when I first played the game as a kid, that made me so sad, this quest, but I was very, very appreciative that the developers provided us with the option to talk with him again.
Twill be hard going without my son.
And we can say, like, Brun, we have all we need. In fact, you'd be doing us a favor if you would take this extra 100 gold off of our hands. It's a burden for us to carry. So he can, like, hang on to it, I guess. And, you know, this is a very cheap reputation gain, if you want to look at it that way. But yeah, I was really happy when I first played the game that, you know, there was an option like that to just give him some gold. So he can, you know, not worry about his future, living in his elderly days without his son's help. Alright, so there are still some ankhegs to clear out in this area. I don't think I'm going to renew the shield buff on Seneshira.
You've as good as done.
I think we're good.
Yes,
Let's just have Jaheira
certainly.
in the front. We haven't encountered any bandits, which is pretty nice.
As you direct.
I am certain.
There is a chance that they can spawn in the western side of the area.
Good as done.
Your concern?
For the fallen!
So we could get, you know, some additional scalps, I guess,
It is done.
off of them for some gold, but it's not a big deal.
It is done.
Now here's another person, or going to be another person close by. Gerd. Gerde.
It is done.
And she's also going to have kind of a quest, I guess, concerning the ankhegs. Oh wow, a potion of invisibility this ankheg had in his possession. That's pretty nice. That's some good random loot.
For the group.
She was about to say, you know what she was about to say, right? By your command. Always have to do that one. I think that there should be a little bit, a few more, maybe one or two more. Where are you?
For the group.
Your concern?
There.
Certainly.
Yeah. Here they are.
Give us victory!
Yes? It is done.
And then a level up for Kivin as well.
I am here.
Nice. Alright, now let's talk to Gerd.
It is done.
Yeah?
And she tells us about like this mating season of ankhegs and why they are so aggressive. But they are also, you know, nice when it comes to, you know, making the soil better, improving crop yields. Also, Jaheira doesn't agree completely.
Yeah?
Alright, and since we've already killed a lot of the ankhegs, she commends us on our good work and gives us 75 gold, man.
Yes?
Mmm. Alright, anyway, let's continue on north to this bridge area.
It is done.
Now, this bridge... You know what, I think I'm going to send one person just to show you that it's closed.
Indeed.
The passage to Baldur's Gate City is closed. This is a bit of an empty map, but there are still some important
I am here. Certainly.
things to do here.
I serve the flaming fist.
So yeah, the entrance to Baldur's Gate is closed. With all the bandit activity about, we've been forced to keep the gate closed. Perhaps if you return later, things may have changed. Alright, so let's just teleport Seneshira back here. So there's going to be this, our investigation into that priestess of Umberlee is going to continue here. So here's her house, and she is supposed to be like a teenager, kind of a child.
Yes? Certainly.
Good as done.
Yes, I am here. Certainly.
You are trespassing on my land home.
It was those horrible fishermen that hired you, wasn't it? Yeah, would be. They forgot to inform us that our adversary would be a young child. So yeah, we just want to know what's going on here. And we can go back to the fisherman and go back here, but we can just continue
Umberlee guides my way.
talking to him, to her. So that makes her hostile, and she's going to attack us. And I'm not going to attack her, I think, with all of my party members, because I don't want to kill her
Concern?
just yet. I just want to damage her enough. Alright, nice. Why do you do this? Don't you know what they've done? Sonner and the others, they are the evil ones. They killed my mother, and now you help them? She only did her duty, collecting the offerings from those that would use the sea. They stole her elemental summoning bowl and tortured her for the wards that make it work. Now they all misuse a gift from Umberlee to pillage the seas, and my mother's spirit can't rest until it is returned. I have more power than Mother had. Umberlee gave me her anger, but I can't find the bowl. All I can do is hurt them till they give it back or die, but I'm so tired. I don't have Mother's will, and the goddess is so demanding. Help me, please. So I guess the good way, I guess, of doing this quest is to help her and return the bowl to her, and then later on in return in Baldur's Gate City she's going to help you, although her help is really not necessary in a certain quest. So I don't trust you or Sonner's bunch. And we're just going to finish her off because she is an evil priestess of Umberlee. Umberlee, like I said, is an evil goddess, so don't be swayed by her by what she says. And we're going to deal with the fishermen as well. Don't you worry. Come on, no, we can't open that. I think there was something in that.
Indeed, it is done.
In that in that chest. And here there's a particular Ankheg. By the way, when it comes to temples of Umberlee, you will see in this whole playthrough of the Baldur's Gate saga, both in Baldur's Gate 1 and Baldur's Gate 2, you will see my hatred towards Umberlee. And let's just say that we're not going to go to those temples of Umberlee to receive some cleric services, you know? Since, you know, we are chaotic good aligned. We are not some, you know, thoughtless person that would get swayed by a priestess of Umberlee, no matter what she says. Anyway, this looks like a normal dagger, right? But it's Nestor's dagger, and it's for a quest in Baldur's Gate City, so it's going to be a while yet before we can do this quest.
I am here.
But, you know, just so I don't forget to get it, I just wanted to have it already. And where am I going? Well, let's progress further north. I think still in this episode we can get some goodies from Ulgoth's beard. So there's going to be a little introduction to Ulgoth's beard, because it's a city, it's a little town, or a village, really, from the expansion, Tales of the Sword Coast. So it's involved in the like expansion adventures, and I'm not going to engage in them just yet. I just want to go there and get some goodies, like I said. So, you know, you get this exposition here. You might want to read about that. Apparently it's ruled by the powerful mage Chandelar.
Certainly.
Or he's kind of like the, maybe not ruler, but kind of a protector of this city.
A simple matter.
Let's see if we can open that. Okay, we can. I believe there's a bastard sword +1 here.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, whoa, whoopsie. I didn't want to loot that when you're looking at me. Although, I don't think they even call the guards here. Like, what guards would they call? Well, apparently they do.
I am here.
So let's get out of here. We're going to check that building later. So there are some characters here like Dushai and Ike and all those that we can talk to, but I'm not going to do anything like that just yet. Well, I'm just going to talk with Hurgen Stoneblade, just because he initiates the conversation. By the way, he's a character that also makes an appearance in Baldur's Gate 2 in a certain situation. But we're going to talk more about that once we get to Baldur's Gate 2, I guess. You have to have Nalia in your party. Anyway, he offers us an adventure, so let's just learn more about that. He has a quest for us to retrieve a dagger from Durlag's tower. So he was a companion of Durlag. So feel free to pause, of course, to read about that. We're going to do Durlag's tower much later in this playthrough. Alright, I'll try to find the dagger.
Certainly.
Now, all we want to do here is talk to this bartender, because he actually has some good stuff. Primarily what we want to have here, he has some pretty good scrolls, like for example emotion, greater malison, improved invisibility, those are level 4 spells. He has also some cleric scrolls. Since I'm here and these spells are so cheap, I think I'm going to buy them already, so that we don't have to go back here. Then there are those potions of mirror eyes, which are pretty good because they make you immune to petrification and gaze attacks, so those are perfect against basilisks, but they only have a 1-turn duration, so only 10 rounds. So they are more of a tool when you're not prepared, I guess, for a basilisk, or your protection from petrification gets dispelled and you need to reapply it immediately, or something like that. Normally it's better to protect yourself with the spell protection from petrification because it lasts much longer. Or you know what, I see that we are already like 31 minutes in. I am going to do these purchases in the next episode, I guess, because I want to talk about some of these items a little bit more. Alright, so we've accomplished a little bit in this episode. I thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.